quiet, hidden folds of the land of fire lies a village cloaked in secrecy and steeped in tradition. It is a place where shinobi walk among the people, trained from a young age in the arts of stealth, survival, and battle. Among these warriors of the Hidden Leaf Village, one name echoes louder than most: Naruto Uzumaki. But the tale of Naruto is not only a story of strength. It is a story of perseverance, loneliness, and the unwavering will to connect. Long before Naruto was ever known as a hero, he was a child burdened with an enormous legacy, one he did not ask for, and one he could not yet understand. On the day of his birth, disaster struck the Hidden Leaf Village. The nine-tailed fox, a monstrous and powerful beast of legend, descended upon the village, bringing death and destruction in its wake. Buildings crumbled, streets burned, and shinobi gave their lives to defend what they could. At the center of this chaos was the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, known far and wide as the Yellow Flash. With time running out and no other choice, Minato and his wife, Kushina Uzumaki, sacrificed themselves to seal the Nine Tails into their newborn son, Naruto. In doing so, they hoped to give the village a chance to rebuild, and their son a chance to live. But the world does not always treat its heroes kindly. As Naruto grew up, he was shunned by the villagers who saw only the monster sealed within him. Whispers followed him wherever he went. Cold stares and silent judgment were all he knew. He did not know why the people hated him, only that he was alone, truly alone, without parents, without friends, with nothing but an empty apartment and a burning desire to be acknowledged. But even in those early years, there was a spark in Naruto that refused to go out. He misbehaved, pulled pranks, and painted graffiti across the faces of the Hokage monuments, all for a moment of attention, a flicker of recognition. He craved to be seen, to be valued, to hear someone say his name with warmth. His goal, even then, was simple: to become Hokage and earn the respect of everyone in the village. Naruto enrolled in the Ninja Academy, though his early days were far from promising. He struggled with basic techniques and often failed tests that others passed with ease. But his determination was unmatched. Even when he fell, he stood up. Even when laughed at, he smiled back. For Naruto, quitting was never an option. It was during this time that Naruto met Iruka Umino, an academy instructor who carried his own pain, having lost his parents to the very beast sealed within Naruto. At first, Iruka struggled to see past the boy's burden, but through Naruto's persistence and unrelenting spirit, Iruka came to understand that Naruto was not the fox. He was a boy, brave, kind, and deeply lonely. In a moment of truth, Iruka shielded Naruto from harm, accepting him for who he was and becoming the first adult to ever truly care for him. For Naruto, it was a turning point. From that day on, he wasn't entirely alone. Upon graduating from the academy, Naruto was placed into Team 7, alongside two classmates, the brooding and talented Sasuke Uchiha and the intelligent but insecure Sakura Haruno. Their team was led by a seasoned and enigmatic jonin, Kakashi Hatake, a man known for his cool demeanor and mysterious past. The group was mismatched and volatile at first, struggling to find unity or balance. Their first missions were modest, often mundane, but everything changed when they were sent to the land of waves. There, they faced true danger for the first time. A battle with the assassin Zabuza Momochi and his young companion Haku tested their limits, both physically and emotionally. Naruto was horrified to realize how real the stakes had become, but it was also the first time he felt himself grow. He saw how deeply bonds could run, and how painful it was to lose them. Through this mission, Naruto began to understand the shinobi world, not as a game, but as a path lined with pain, loss, and the choices one must make to protect others. When Team 7 returned to the village, they entered the Chunin exams, a multi-stage trial designed to test Jinin for promotion. These exams introduced Naruto to many of the village's other rising stars, including Shikamaru Nara, Rock Lee, and Gaara of the Sand. Though Naruto was still underestimated by most, he refused to be ignored. He trained relentlessly, not only physically, but emotionally, learning to channel the Nine Tails chakra with the guidance of Kakashi and others. One of Naruto's defining moments came when he faced Neji Hyuga in the exam's preliminaries. Neji, a genius of the Hyuga clan, believed in fate and saw Naruto as inferior. But Naruto, as always, challenged destiny itself. Through grit and cleverness, he defeated Neji, stunning everyone watching. It wasn't just a victory. It was a declaration that one's future is not written in stone. Soon after, the exams were interrupted by an invasion. Orochimaru, a rogue ninja and former leaf shinobi, attacked the village with the hidden sand. It was chaos. Amid the destruction, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, fought Orochimaru in a tragic battle and lost his life. Naruto, meanwhile, was instrumental in stopping Gaara, a fellow Jinchuriki who had been consumed by hatred and loneliness. Naruto didn't just fight Gaara. He reached out to him. He showed Gaara that he too had felt the pain of isolation, that he too knew what it meant to be feared and unloved. But he also showed that one could choose a different path. It was this compassion, this deep understanding, that made Naruto special. He wasn't just a fighter. He was a healer of hearts. With the village reeling from the invasion, a new Hokage was needed. Naruto journeyed alongside Jiraiya, the legendary Sannin, to find Tsunade, a powerful medical ninja and granddaughter of the first Hokage. During this time, Jiraiya took Naruto under his wing, beginning a new phase of training. He taught Naruto how to summon toads, and more importantly, how to begin controlling the immense chakra of the Nine Tails within him. their travels weren't without conflict. Naruto faced Itachi Uchiha, the rogue brother of Sasuke, and other members of the secretive Akatsuki organization. But perhaps the most personal battle was not with enemies, but with Sasuke himself. Sasuke, tormented by the loss of his clan and consumed with the desire for vengeance against Itachi, chose to abandon the village in pursuit of greater power. Naruto, devastated by his teammates' decision, chased after him. What followed was a heartbreaking confrontation in the Valley of the End, a place of historic battle. There, Naruto fought his hardest not to defeat Sasuke, but to save him. But Sasuke, blinded by pain and ambition, left Naruto behind, choosing the darkness. In the days that followed Sasuke's departure, Naruto was filled with a quiet determination. He had failed to bring back the friend he once considered a brother, but he refused to give up. His promise to Sakura, to return Sasuke no matter what, echoed within him. With the village still under threat from the Akatsuki and Orochimaru looming in the shadows, Naruto knew that to protect those he cared about, he needed to become stronger. It was then that Naruto left the village under the guidance of Jiraiya. Their journey took them across the lands, far from the hidden leaf. Naruto trained relentlessly, learning to better harness his chakra and expanding his abilities. Jiraiya, both a mentor and a guardian, taught Naruto not only how to fight, but how to think, how to observe, and how to carry the weight of being a Jinchuriki. Years passed. Naruto returned to the hidden leaf as a teenager, taller, wiser, but still with that same burning spirit. Team 7 had changed. Kakashi still led, but Sakura had grown remarkably under the guidance of Tsunade. Sasuke, however, was still gone, having entrenched himself in Orochimaru's service. The mission to bring him back remained as distant as ever. Soon, Naruto and his comrades found themselves drawn into the rising storm surrounding the Akatsuki, a shadowy group composed of rogue shinobi, each more dangerous than the last. Their goal was simple, yet terrifying: to capture all the tailed beasts, and with them, assert control over the world. As the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, Naruto became one of their prime targets. But Naruto didn't hide. He fought. With every encounter, against Itachi, against Deidara, against Kakuzu, he learned. He grew stronger, but not just in battle. He continued to forge connections with others who carried their own pain. With each battle, he didn't merely fight to win. He fought to understand, to protect, to heal. When Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, finally descended upon the Hidden Leaf Village, it marked one of Naruto's greatest trials. The attack was devastating. Buildings were leveled, innocents were killed, friends were injured, and lives lost. Pain's vision of peace was one forged through suffering, through control. He believed pain was the only path to unity. Naruto arrived in the ruins of his village alone, facing pain in one of the most harrowing battles of his life. drawing on all he had learned from Jiraiya, from his comrades, from the toads of Mount Myoboku. Naruto fought with clarity and conviction. His new form, Sage Mode, allowed him to match Pain's overwhelming power. But it was not brute strength that ended the fight. In the end, Naruto sought to understand. He listened. He challenged Nagato's beliefs, not with hatred, but with compassion. He saw the boy that Nagato had once been, the pupil of Jiraiya, much like himself. Naruto broke the cycle of vengeance, not with violence, but with empathy. He offered forgiveness, and in turn, Nagato sacrificed himself to revive those he had killed. The village, once wary of the boy with the beast inside him, now saw Naruto in a new light. They lifted him on their shoulders. For the first time, Naruto felt something he had chased his entire life: acknowledgement. But the peace was brief. News came of Sasuke's involvement with the Akatsuki and his decision to attack the Kage summit. Naruto's heart ached. He still believed in Sasuke's redemption, even as others gave up on him. He pleaded with the Raikage to spare his friend, and when that failed, he made a fateful decision: to bear the hatred of the world alone, if it meant protecting those he loved. As war loomed, Naruto trained once more, this time under the supervision of Killer Bee, the Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. Together, they worked to control the beast within Naruto. For the first time, Naruto came face to face with Kurama, the Nine Tails, inside himself. Their battle was more than physical. It was a battle of wills. And in time, Naruto did what no one thought possible. He reached out to the beast, not with force, but with understanding. Kurama, long filled with hatred and distrust, slowly began to acknowledge Naruto, not as a jailer, but as a partner. This bond, once unthinkable, would become one of Naruto's greatest strengths. Then came the fourth great ninja war. The world, once divided, now united against a common enemy: the masked figure known as Tobi, who declared himself Madara Uchiha. His goal was the infinite Tsukuyomi, a genjutsu cast on the moon to trap all of humanity in an eternal dream. To achieve it, he needed all the tailed beasts, including Naruto. On the battlefield, Naruto shone like never before. Clones of himself appeared across every front, boosting morale, saving comrades, and turning the tide of battle. His power grew, but so too did his empathy. He began to feel the hearts of others, to reach even those who had once been enemies. At last, the truth emerged. The real Madara Uchiha had returned, resurrected through forbidden techniques. He overwhelmed the allied shinobi forces, becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki and pushing the world to the brink. Even Naruto, now wielding incredible power and the full cooperation of Kurama, was nearly defeated. But there was one final twist. Kaguya Otsutsuki, the origin of all chakra, appeared. Her power was godlike, her motives beyond mortal understanding. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, with the guidance of the resurrected sage of 6 paths, fought together in the final battle that would determine the fate of the world. And they won. But even then, peace was not secure. For Naruto, one last battle remained. Sasuke, his friend, his rival, stood before him once more. Not as an enemy, but as someone who believed that in order to create true peace, he needed to bear the burden of all hatred, to become the villain so the world could unite against him. Naruto understood him, and he refused to let him walk that path alone. Their final battle was brutal and emotional. Fists clashed, memories resurfaced, blood was spilled. In the end, they lay side by side, missing arms and exhausted. But more importantly, they were no longer enemies. They were brothers. And for the first time, Sasuke let go of his hatred. The war was over. The world began to heal. And Naruto, once the lonely, ridiculed boy, now stood as its greatest hero. Time passed. Naruto matured. He watched friends find peace, rebuild their homes, and start families. He finally achieved the dream he had chased since childhood. He became the 7th Hokage. The entire village stood behind him, not just in admiration, but in love. He married Hinata, who had quietly loved him from afar for so long. They started a family together and had 2 children, Boruto and Himawari. Naruto, once an orphan shunned by all, now had everything he had longed for: family, acknowledgement, and peace. And his journey was never easy. It was filled with pain, with rejection, with loneliness. But through it all, Naruto never let go of his ideals. He believed in bonds. He believed in people. And he believed that love, even in the darkest times, could shine through. This is the story of Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who dreamed of being Hokage, the young man who united nations, and the hero who taught the world how to truly understand one another. He started with nothing and gave everything, all so that no child would ever feel the pain he once did. And now, as the stars gently blink overhead and the wind rustles through the trees of the hidden leaf, the story of Naruto rests like a lullaby in the quiet of the night. Good night.